Mommy, time for bed.
Okay, Mom.
I'll be up in a minute to tell your story.
Yippee!
All right. What story do you want tonight?
Something with dragons.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of scary action. But what about something a little less fire and things burning?
Oh, okay.
How about we draw pictures and create our own story? All right, I'll start us off. There's a family living on a farm, mom, a dad, and a son. The mom's name is...
Mary. No, Maria.
Okay, mom's name is Maria, dad's name is Peter, and the son's name is Horst.
Horst? That sounds like a weird name for a son.
Well, this story is way back in the past, in medieval times, so the names were different back then.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so Maria is a farmer, and Peter is a cobbler, which is a shoemaker back in those days. And Peter's father and grandfather and great-grandfather were all shoemakers. And they passed down all their knowledge and skill down to Peter. So, of course, Peter wants Horst to follow in his long family history of being a cobbler.
I want to be a fireman.
I bet you do. You can be whatever you want to be. But you have to work hard at it, and it's okay to change your mind if something else interests you.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Dad.
Horst does a really good job at helping out his dad with the shoemaking, but secretly, he really wants to be a blacksmith. Peter can see that Horst isn't very interested in helping him, so he tells him, "Go out and help your mom in the farm." So Horst runs outside and starts helping his mom in the farm. He starts picking weeds out of the crops, and then in the distance he hears a young lady's voice. "Hi, Horst." Horst looks up and he sees a beautiful girl named Agnes waving in the distance at the next door farm.
Ew, girls.
Well, Horst is a few years older than you, and he likes girls, and Agnes likes him. They've known each other for a while, and sometimes they take walks out in the forest, and they've become very good friends.
Do they get married?
Maybe, but we'll get to that part of the story a little later.
Okay, Dad.
One day, Peter received a message to come to town for a big meeting, as the mayor of the nearby town had passed away, and they had to discuss who was going to be the new mayor. To his surprise, the people in the town wanted Peter to be the new mayor. Now, while Peter's a cobbler, he's also very good with a sword.
I want a lightsaber.
Sorry, son. No super technology back in those days.
Oh, well.
Peter's actually considered by the people to be a war hero. He helped protect the town a few years ago, so the town folks trusted him. Peter was astonished. It was a big honor for Peter that the people of the town thought so highly of him to ask him to be mayor. But before he could make this big decision, he had to go talk to Maria and Horst about it first. Taking on the job as mayor was going to be hard and a lot of work. It's going to be a big move too, from the farm to the town. Lots of things would change. So when Peter got back home, he sat down with Maria and explained what was going on, and they decided to just pack up everything and move into town.
No, they had to move? What about Agnes? Did she get to go?
No, she didn't get to go. She had to stay with her family.
But she liked him a lot.
Don't worry. We're making this story up as we go along. We can change it if we want
Okay, I want them to get married.
to. Okay, we can make that happen soon.
Okay, good.
So the family moved into town, and Peter became the mayor and did a great job leading the people. Horst worked really hard too, farming and mining, and worked really hard at becoming a blacksmith.
Guess he really didn't like shoes, huh, Dad?
Well, if you're going to really work hard at something, you might as well be doing something you really enjoy and it makes you happy. And sometimes that means you have to make your own path in life and do what you're passionate about.
I still want to be a fireman.
I bet you do. So, guess what? One day, Agnes and her family moved into town, and finally Agnes and Horst were reunited again. They sat for hours and hours, just talking about the things that they had done over the past few years while they were apart. So after a few months had passed, Horst finally got up the courage and asked Agnes to marry him.
She said yes, right?
Of course she did. They got married, they had 2 kids, and since Horst worked really hard, he finally was accepted into the blacksmithing guild, and he was given an award. So many years passed by. Peter did a great job as mayor, and the town prospered due to his leadership. time waits for no one. Maria and Peter were very old. Peter became very sick and eventually passed away. Maria lived for a couple more years, but eventually passed away also.
Aw, like my goldfish Spot. That was sad.
Yeah, that's just what happens to everyone eventually. You're born, you live the best life you can. Hopefully you find somebody to fall in love with and get married and have children like Horst and Agnes did. You work hard to provide for your family and try to give your children a better life than you had. That's what legacy means.
Legacy?
Yeah, it means what you leave behind for your family when you're gone. It could be money, it could be property, horses, in our case cars or stuff. It also means what you have done with your life that your family and friends, in some cases the world, will remember about you when you're gone from this life. So Peter left everything he owned to Horst when he passed. That was his legacy. And with the money they got from Peter and Maria, they bought a ship. And Horst and Agnes decided to venture off on their own with their 2 children.
Was it a big ship?
Well, not that big, but big enough to put all their belongings on, and they sailed off into the distance to start a new life, maybe start a new town, maybe create a legacy for themselves and their children.
And killed dragons.
Okay, they went and killed dragons. All right, time for bed.
Oh, but...
Hey, it's okay. The story never really ends. We will continue this tomorrow. Good night, Tommy.
Ooh, I can't wait. Good night, Dad.